in and looked at all of those records, okay? They got the sheet, the balance sheet to go with that unit, and it shows exactly that that monthly fee comes in, gets posted to that account, and then goes to the bank.
But from what they're saying is they got a sheet that you printed out, not from the bank.
It's our computer sheet, yes.
Shows where
Yes.
the money is.
So the
Now,
bank,
when you want
the bank
something
could say,
different-
the bank statement could say one thing,
That-
and your
that is
computer
a-
sheet could say.
That's what I was
another.
saying. Where's the bank
But
statement?
that is a different sheet of paper, that is
That's
not
what we're-
our
That's what we
reality.
want.
But
That's
that's
what we're
And
afraid
then
of.
That's
you
what we
have-
want.
and
That
then
sheet
you
of
have to
paper.
look
That's what
at
you don't
another
wanna
sheet
see.
of paper to see that.
Judy,
We
that's
haven't-
the sheet of paper that we
haven't even
want.
gotten there
We
yet.
want the bank statements, not
We
what you
haven't
give us.
even
We want
gotten
from the
there.
bank.
We haven't even gotten there
Let's
yet.
speak one at a time. I'm a little elderly and I like to be able to hear all of you speak. Okay? I think it would be nice whoever wants to speak will stand up and get our attention.
I'd like to say this much, and I think this needs to be heard by everybody here. When you approve a budget for a fiscal year, January 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2016, the very day that the gavel comes down, the complex is in arrearage. The reason is, by Florida law, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Clark,
I know you're not.
by Florida law, you have to say it's 100% funded by 232 units. We deal on a monthly basis. How many, I don't know, but when I was on the board, we had an average of 15 to 18 people who weren't paying condo dues.
Right.
So the very day you approve a budget, you're in arrears. You're not gonna meet the budget income.
Why should I pay?
The fact is, you gotta have that because that's how many units collect 225. We're gonna be in short. We're gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. Nobody's robbing nobody. We just have to reallocate in order to keep the budget within the parameters of the approval of 225, 600, or whatever. Believe me, when I was on the board, it was a thankless job. And I'll say this much and I'll be done. If anybody thinks that anybody here gets paid, you can try again, because no dollar left nobody's pocket into mine or any other board member. I'll tell you only what I know. When Miss Emmett and I were on the board, we had this every year. How can we straighten out those who are not paying? And furthermore, the lost money that Southbrook got from a condominium that went into arrearage, it got dragged out. The Southbrook got 6 months or 1%, whichever was greater, and we got stiffed. 10 grand or 15 grand per unit owner that went into a long drawn out foreclosure. That's where the problem is on every P&L of every condominium association. Not just Southbrook, everyone.
How many units have you owned since you've been here?
And that's
And
why
that's
we,
immaterial. I am current on every condo I've owned
No,
here.
but how
I bought
many-
and sold 28 of them in
Bought
here.
and sold,
Does
right?
that mean I'm a thief?
No, I'm asking you. You
I'm
bought
current.
and sold, right? You bought and sold.
I bought and sold 28 of them.
Those
That's
four-
a public record. You could look up Michael Gardonio.
You bought those foreclosures and resold, correct? I'm
It
only
doesn't-
asking
that's
some
correct.
questions. I'm only asking questions of what I've seen,
Sure.
of what I've seen here in the last 7 years. So these are simple questions. I'm not accusing
Very
you.
simple.
I'm not accusing you. of anything.
Southbrook got
No,
what was due
The fact that
them.
you get jumpy. when I had a
Nobody's
question,
jumpy.
Okay, I just asked you how many questions.
Believe me, I was
how many
called a
units have you
bottom
had?
feeder when I was here. I was called
Simple
everything
questions.
outside of,
Simple questions.
of
How
a
many
nice
units
guy.
have you sold, and how many units have you sold? Have you bought that were
How
foreclosures?
many have I bought that I'm
That were
stiff
foreclosures.
with? A bunch of them. And guess what? It was available for any person who wanted
Yeah,
to
that's
buy
right.
one.
right.
Correct.
Exactly.
Anyone. You want to buy one, you put a bid in on.
Right.
Guess what?
Exactly.
Foreclosures, I know the real estate business because I've been in it for 30 years.
Right.
You want to buy a property today, they'll have a realtor put it out there at 88.5, such as one in Hampton Glen. I'm getting off the subject, but you got to hear this, young man.
Aren't you a real estate-
88.5. Guess
Aren't
what
you-
it sold for?
Aren't you in real estate, Willa?
110,000.
Willa, aren't you in
Why?
real estate?
Because the realtor had it
Why?
listed.
Willa,
We had to do
time
diligence
out,
with
time
the bank. The bank says, let's put it
Willa.
out there to the highest and best offer. We have sealed bids due.
Willa,
Am I
aren't you
right
in
or
real
not?
estate, Willa?
I had enough, Judy. I seen enough of the dog and pony show.
Yeah,
Believe
I
me.
know. And what the gentleman says too is right, and that's really why we don't have any money,
rest my-
guys, and you
I
all
rest
are
my
rocking
case.
up the the wrong tree.
Why would
You're
keep
barking
why
up
would
the
you keep
wrong
buying
tree.
units that are losing money?
I rest my case.
Why would you keep buying
Hey,
units
and
that
ask
are
Willa,
losing
is she a real estate? Is she a realtor now?
Well, we originally bought them to make money, but that hasn't happened because of the foreclosure. Why doesn't everybody understand that?
That's why you have a real estate. Willa, she's a realtor. No, I know, but you haven't been here the past 7
Told me
years.
we're gonna come and see him.
Why are there
Can we
so
go
many
on, please?
foreclosures?
I'm going on with this and stop, I don't wanna answer this one over here.
My mortgage was $148 a month, and my fee was
Yeah, and I'm looking
$225.
I don't even know where we are on this anymore.
You call any bank. You call any bank to finance. You call any bank to finance a new property that could be sold at 50,000. They don't finance you. So your property values are still going to be here.
Wait a minute, but with the banks, they actually are paying everything.
Exactly. No, yeah, they are. They are. No, without a doubt, they're paying. Without a doubt, they're paying.
At this point, is absolutely.
So whether you make the money up front or whether you make it in a period of time, you're going to get the money from the bank. That's the bottom line.
Pay everything. I can show you a balance summary sheet that I
Then
have.
do, please do.
I kept myself,
Please do.
and it shows exactly how many losses there have
I
been.
would love to see it.
And the banks don't pay everything. You know why they don't pay everything, guys? Because they get a special deal. They have lobbyists in Tallahassee that lobby for them, and guess what they get? Special deal. They only pay 1% of the mortgage, or 6% or whatever, 6 months of the maintenance fees, and that's it. And we get
That's
the
your
rest,
opinion.
and we get
And your
no, it
thoughts.
is not my opinion, Tracy. That is a fact.
Anybody know the
That is a
definition-
fact.
anybody
We
know
can
the
easily
definition
check
of
on that.
insanity?
There is no problem.
Yes,
Doing the same thing over and over and over, using the same people over and over and over and failing. That's the definition of insanity.
You're right. The same thing over and over and
Right, and we have been over and over again. I don't think I have been associated with this condominium association that we haven't been drowned in mortgage failures.
You have
People
foreclosed on
walking away
homeowners
from
in
their
here. I've
mortgages.
seen you, Judy.
Since
Jesus.
1994,
Well, it's kind of
guys.
hard not to walk away. I've been here 10 years, and when I first came in, it was all hunky-dory. And then between the assaults on you, they put little notes on your door, and all kind of maintenance fees, then an assessment fee that doesn't stop. It keeps on and on and on. I've never seen a condo where it has an assessment fee every year.
Yeah, we refer to that
I
as
got
the
like
annual
5
assessment.
friends with condos in Bay Meadows. They get them every 2 years, every 3 years. I've never seen a condo where it gets an assessment fee every year.
Do you know why you're gonna
Wait a minute. And these people here work like everybody, like a Joe. $9, $10 an hour. What do you think is gonna happen? They're not gonna be able to pay their mortgage because they own the bank. They're not gonna be able to pay the maintenance because they owe that. They're not gonna be able to pay an assessment fee.
Let me
You
tell you what's
falsify
gonna
documents to
This is like a
foreclose on
rundown
homeowners.
Let me tell you-
10-year thing going on.
Let me tell you what's gonna happen. This is my first time on the board. This is my first time being involved
10 years.
with a, budget. And one of the problems is Southbrook, and you work for CPA. If you did the math, you know what I'm fixing to say is true. Southbrook does not budget enough to do what it needs to do.
Why?
That's the reason why there's an assessment. And I got news for you. Whoever, whether it's the people up here, people out there, whoever it is, mark my words what I'm saying.
But we need to
Next
stick
year,
to
when
a
there's a
budget.
new board on here,
But we
not
need to
only are we gonna approve the budget tonight, which is gonna include a $600 assessment, there will be another one, because there's no money to do what needs to be done.
To pay the bills. And fix the place up, guys. That's why the stuff is in fixed up.
So is
There's no money.
Fix it up 10 years later.
Free for everybody.
It is, roads fixed, schools fixed.
Ann has a response.
Ann has a
It
response.
doesn't, it
Are
doesn't.
we gonna do this
Can't get blood out
profit
of the
loss
turnip.
thing?
Ann has a
Can I go to
response to
bed?
Carlisle.
Then all right, go ahead, Ann, then we can get back hopefully to this.
Can somebody please explain why we would pay $71,000 for a roof?
We did not. We did not, Ann. I bought those figures.
That's what was
Can we
stated.
go, yes, can we go over that later, please? I did
No.
bring the.
No,
we need
we
questions
actually
answered. That's why we're here.
My understanding is, if there was a roof that was paid $71,000,
would probably be one of the big
No.
ones with like 8 units in it.
That's
From what
not
I
on the
understand, they
state.
go
So
for around
he doesn't know, but
Can you
she
confirm that?
From what I understand, for the
Like, he doesn't know.
If you don't know, that's what we're asking. Concrete information.
building
He's on the
condos,
board.
they run around 50s, what I've been told.
Alright, I brought
No.
the sheet here, Ann,
He's
so you
right,
can
he's
see
like the
that if you
Democrats.
wanna look at that.
What
alright?
sheet did you bring?
Your sheet?
I brought the transaction.
We're not interested in your
Did you bring the
documentation.
actual bid and the cost from the
Detailed
roofer?
sheet of what has been paid out to the roofing company. This sort of the general things that have been paid, electrical company, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Did you bring the actual invoices, the bills?
The actual bid.
Bring the bills.
No, the bills.
Then I don't
Then that's
care.
what we're not interested.
The bills are in a file, but anyway.
Well, go
this
get
is-
them, it's right there.
You're right there next door. Go get the bid, get the files.
If I could please answer this question, please.
You're not answering the
You're
question.
not answering.
Billingham Roofing was the one that did the whole thing here, 17,000, which the total on that was $48,000. However, there were many other roofing repairs that had to be done to the roofs, which is running at about $700-800. That adds up real quick, and $1,000 thing real quick. But basically, you can see that sheet, and you'll see how many of those are on here. And that maintenance supplies and building supplies, that goes right on top of that. Goes to this thing real quick.
Judy, quick question. How come Willow doesn't explain to us, because she's a treasurer? I mean, she does the books. I mean, how come she's talking and you don't do much talking, and you're in
Because
fact
she
you're the
gave
one
me the
handling
paper.
the actual
She
money?
gave me the paper to look at tonight, so I would know exactly if.
But it
this
doesn't sound like
question
you're
was
too
raised
informed.
about
That's
the
why I'm saying
roofing
this.
thing.
Hear it straight from the horse's mouth. You know, she's the one that's actually.
Yes, she can do that if she wants. Do you wanna do that, Willa?
The roof was $48,800 and something dollars.
Do you have the invoice for that?
Yeah,
you go get
they're
it?
not here
No,
now.
not right
They're
now.
not here now, but they are in the file.
They're in the office,
They are
right
in the
there.
file. They're in the file.
You have another office?
It's in
10
in
feet.
last year's file.
Just get one copy. We can just pass
Just
it
to go
around.
get it. We'll pass it around.
Where are last year's files
I
at?
would think
You had a
something
maintenance
like
guy there
that
at
would
night.
be better done, not at a budget
Yeah,
meeting,
that's right.
but at a meeting in the office during the week.
Okay, those don't work. A budget meeting is talking about the budget. Where is our money? Show us the invoices. Show us the paper.
That's what a budget is.
Don't just give me a piece of paper and say, this is because what we
You can
said.
see them, Tracy.
Judy, excuse
You
me.
have to make an
We the
appointment.
homeowners are the ones we supposed to approve the budget, not you.
No, we.
No, we are the owners.
No, no,
We're the ones that pay the money.
no,
We're the ones that are
board of
supposed to approve that.
directors approves the budget, all
We're
right?
just the board of directors.
So then what are we here for?
We can
So,
vote.
to get this clear, so we don't. We have to vote on Any this. vote or anything, just we can leave then. I mean, there is no point to sit here. Our
No,
vote doesn't count?
Yes, it does. Under
Создаваш
Are we allowed to see these books?
Yes.
So why can't we each get a copy of the books?
Because they say you have to pay 25 cents per copy.
But that's our money that they're using for
They can't
copies.
email it to you.
make a copy of this?
No, we
Of all the
bought her
signatures,
a
did you make
stack
a
of
copy?
paper and gave it to the office
I
there
think we should
for
all
Did you make a
be
copy of all
eligible
the
to see
signatures?
these
And
books.
volunteer to make the copies.
They've been going on for
Make sure that you
years.
make
I
a
think
copy
we
too,
all should
because
be able to
if
see
you're
them.
giving the original.
Oh, no, I know. I scan it in. Make a
I
copy.
just know that if I see books and it looks like there's anything wrong, I'm suing them. I know I'm suing them. I'm not leaving it alone. I'm a
Hey, you can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna post it.
Знам с какво говориш, но с всяко изказване